everyone, it's Scott Weddle here again. So again, I'm just going to talk about typical ways we limit ourselves. So do you do a lot of bickering? Like, I'd say arguments are the most common way that we bring ourselves back down to where we think is normal, what we call the norm. So we hit that we start feeling good, and then we hit that thermostat, we went over the little limit, and then we bring ourselves back down by just starting a conflict. So you don't need to do that. You do not need to do that. Like, there's no point in, like, when things are going well in your life, what is the point in stopping the flow of the positive energy? And by starting a conflict, it's absolutely, there's no benefit in it at all. And then the conflict will actually develop a life of its own. It will last for days, hours, even years, and you'll hold grudges against people that you don't even need to be holding grudges against. And the effect this is going to have on you is it's going to keep you in that familiar zone that you're feeling a little comfortable in, and you will stop expressing yourself, the real and authentic you, the real and true you. You will not express that. And if you can sort of learn that these are just symptoms that you are limiting yourself, and that you have just got some shit going on inside that you need to remove, then you will make huge breakthroughs and you will make huge shifts in your life, and you will move forward and go beyond it. And an argument is caused by two people, right? Racing for to occupy the victim position, like, oh, why did you do this to me, and why did you do this to me, well, it was your fault, etc. So once the race for the victim position is underway, like, each person, like, must present an escalating series of, like, proofs, like, that he or she's the real victim. So, yeah, you done this, and you done that, and then you done this, and you done that. It's like, what? Calm down, man. Get a grip. And the big insight here is that there are two people involved, right? So each entity, each person has 100% of the responsibility to resolve the conflict, right? So in other words, person A has 100%, person B has 100%, so there's 200% responsibility divided up. So the huge mistake that people think is that there's only 100% responsibility to be divided up. So this means that each person would have to take a small portion, so 60-40, 50-50 or whatever. And this is going to lead to a massive conflict, and you'll endless fighting, because this is a bad way to think, because it'll just lead to you arguing and endless fighting for this victim position, and you're just going round in circles for a reason that didn't even happen. And I can hear it already, all you guys saying, well, he shouted at me and he done this. Well, do you know what? It's your fault for letting him or her get on your nerves, because how do you know? How do you know what's going on inside their head? How do you know what they are going through right now? How do you know what's going on inside their inner world that they've then took it out on you, but you've let them affect you? You have let them. Yes, you. It doesn't matter if they shout at you. You should have the patience and the persistence and the calmness to sit back and go, right, well, I can't judge this person because I don't know what's going on in their inner worlds. I'm a completely different person. I perceive the world differently than this person. So why do I not, like, try and talk to her and calm her down, or calm him down, or whatever, and speak to her about it? Don't argue, because then you're just going to make it worse for that person. How do you know? Now, see if you just sat down and said, like, why are you being like that? Like, what's wrong? What's going on inside your head? Instead of going, then you'll get somewhere, okay? So when we step out of these egos that we've got, yeah, I've got one too, but I just know how to control it now. We need to step out of the egos and realise that we need to take full responsibility for our own actions, okay? And you will start to perceive the world in a different way, and you will start to waken up to what's around you. Alright? So, I hope this has served you guys, and I hope this is going to waken you up to drop that ego and start taking responsibility, okay? So thank you so much for listening, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.